Hello guys, and welcome to Sir Beckham's. This is going to be my new MotoVlog page where I am going to try and do all kinds of adventurous stuff. I figured I go on all kinds of motorcycle adventures with me, myself, and all my buddies, my girlfriend, and I thought it'd be fun to start logging all that stuff. And I do kind of want to start maybe reviewing motorcycles, some history of motorcycles, anything that anyone may or may not be interested in. I like unique and weird motorcycles. This is my 2002 Honda VTX 1800, and everything today is kind of an experiment. I have a new audio recorder, I have my GoPro. We're going to hope that we get some good audio and some good video. No idea if any of this is going to look good from your angle, but that is for, I guess, you to decide. I am also hoping that the bike isn't too loud. It is an 1800cc V-twin with Vance & Hines pipes on it. So hopefully you'll still be able to hear me as we go along on our first adventure. So I have been riding for a little over a year now. I grew up riding and racing dirt bikes and everything like that. Just like just about every male from my generation did. And was more into cars than I was bikes for the longest time, and all of my buddies around me started getting motorcycles and doing all these fun things that I couldn't go do. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna get rid of my cars, get rid of a bunch of my debt, and decide to just start spending all of my money on motorcycles instead. So in my first year of owning a motorcycle, I have owned 3 different bikes, this being my third. My first one was a 1981 Suzuki GS 550, which I still have to this day, but is in the shop. That one is a lot more tame than this, so maybe we can go through that at some point. And I just kind of realized that an 81 for a first motorcycle probably wasn't going to be the most reliable idea. So I ended up actually buying my buddy's 2016 FZ07. And I love that bike, but when it came to going anywhere for a long period of time, a completely naked sport bike wasn't exactly the ideal option. Especially when it came to two-up riding, which I do a lot now with my girlfriend now that I have this. And this was a big reason of purchasing this. So after I had that for, I don't know, about 2 months, decided to go to the tail of the dragon after riding motorcycles on the street for only a couple months. And I really loved it. It was actually one of the best times of my entire life. Maybe I'll post some pictures and stuff along with this video of my adventure on the tail of the dragon. And that just kind of like sold it. Being lost in the mountains of Tennessee and North Carolina really just kind of opened my mind to how much more there was to basically traveling and living life outside of Indiana. And came back and nothing was just as good as Tennessee. So anyway, had that bike all the way up through last year, and just realized that it just wasn't ideal for what I was doing with it, or wanting to do with riding, which was traveling, camping trips, motorcycle trips out of town, like going long distances. And so I just ended up putting them for sale with no idea of what else I was gonna buy. And my uncle actually bought this bike brand new back in 2002, and he's the one that painted it. So the custom paint that you guys saw earlier, he's the one that painted it entirely. And there's no 6th gear. So he just kind of messaged me one day and was like, hey, I saw you were looking for a cruiser. Here's my bike. You know, I don't really want to get rid of it, but I'm getting older and don't really want to ride and don't ride it as much. And I don't know, I just kind of fell in love with this bike the moment I got on it. So I sold my FZ07 and I bought this and immediately towed it to Virginia to go do the Shenandoah Valley with my girlfriend. And just another moment of just leaving Indiana and going somewhere that's not dull and boring and flat and full of potholes. And so I did that, and came back, went there, and it was 70 degrees while we were there. And then we got, on our way back, we hit a snowstorm, which was exciting. So once we got back from there, you know, it was like the beginning of April, a couple of my buddies decided to go do what's called the Circle Tour of Michigan, where you start in Indiana and you take off and you go basically all the way around Lake Michigan. So we started in Indiana, went all the way up along the coast to Mackinac City, stayed in Mackinac City the first night. And then second day we went across the Upper Peninsula, which I had never been to before. Absolutely gorgeous. Basically untouched by people, which is pretty cool. Went through that and then came back down through Wisconsin, Illinois, and then back in Indiana. So in 3 days we did just over 1,100 miles. And that's another thing. So I bought this from my uncle with around 18,000 miles or so on it. And as you see, I've had this bike since March. I'm at 24,000 miles. So I absolutely ride the daylights out of this thing. So that kind of leads me into wanting to do these vlogs, is going to all these places and seeing all these cool things and wanting to share them and get people into motorcycles. And I don't know, I see a bunch of other vloggers and it just seems like a ton of fun. Something I also thought about doing, I think would be kind of unique for my thing, is something I also thought about doing outside of just vlogging my adventures is kind of going through reviewing motorcycles, gear, tips and stuff that I learn. I think it'd be cool to go through like histories of motorcycles and stuff. Like I could run through the history of this, my Suzuki. My girlfriend just bought a Royal Enfield. I think going through that would be really cool. I'll take you guys on a ride on the Royal Enfield Classic 350 and kind of going through it, showing you guys and kind of showing you the history of the bike, and then maybe renting bikes and showing that kind of stuff. So I think it'd be cool to kind of have you guys show me what you might be interested in, or tell me what you might be interested in. If you like me kind of just chatting with you and going on about everything, I'm more than happy to do that. I think it's a ton of fun, especially once I get more comfortable and maybe even playing out some scripts instead of just kind of winging it and hoping for the best, which is kind of what I did today. I didn't have a route planned. I didn't have what I was going to say planned, other than the fact that I was going to kind of run through the things I wanted to do. I probably won't say as much going into new videos. I think showing you guys a lot of like the goofiness that I do when I ride, and I wanted to also run a mic up into my headset so that when I ride with friends, hopefully you guys would be able to hear everything. And I'm hoping you can hear anything at all with how loud this motorcycle is. That is another thing I plan on doing, is putting the baffles that were taken out of it back in to make it not such a nuisance to society, which is basically what it is right now. And I mean, there's part of you that kind of gets tickled every time you open this bike up, because it just wants to absolutely go, and it's so loud and brutish, and it makes such a different noise compared to your typical single crank pin V-twin. It's just a lot higher revving, a lot more crackly, which I like. But yeah, I think it'd be fun to take you guys through some of my adventures, maybe take you along on some rides, and I'll just kind of show you guys what goes through my brain every time I'm out riding. Watch me be super cautious while riding around everyone. I thought about also doing, like, taking some of this recording stuff that I'm doing, and maybe even starting like a TikTok page that shows everything that goes through my brain while I'm riding and looking around and scanning. It's actually quite boring out today. Not a whole lot of traffic through town, not seeing a whole lot of crazies out, just kind of out cruising. Get to see the beautiful Indiana weather. I will say, for how boring Indiana is, we do have some fun back highways and twisty roads and stuff like that. Watch me get nice and cozy on my bike. I usually listen to a lot of music and kind of sing and dance and stuff while I'm riding, but I'm also wanted to play with the audio for my microphone, and in hope that I was able to record my voice more than anything. But also, I don't want my audio removed on my very first video. I think that would be kind of a bummer. So maybe I'll see if I can find some either royalty-free music or something that I can kind of bump and dance along with, and have some vlogging audio or something, or hope that maybe I can listen to music and my voice microphone won't pick it up that way. I can just kind of vibe. Try and keep my visor closed so you guys hear something other than the exhaust on this motorcycle. Also, don't panic if the turn signal start to hyper flash. I'm aware that it's an issue, but it's one of those things where it's intermittent, so as long as I slap it around a little bit, sometimes it doesn't seem to care. So I kind of just hope for the best and hope that they work enough to where someone won't hit me. That's usually my goal. Green. Had to give that guy the nod. We're friends now. Oh, here's all the traffic that I said we weren't having. It's all on this street. Pretty sure that guy was texting. We'll find out when I go through the video. Thought I felt my phone go off in my pocket. Oops. Really bad about that. I'm pretty sure I hit it. I'll find out. All kinds of motorcycles on this road. Let's go! I'm trying to go home. Also trying not to be in this person's blind spot because I don't want to get ridden off the road. Pushed off the road, forced off the road. What's the right way to say that? Ran off the road. Jesus Christ. Brake lights. I need that lane. Whoop. I wanted that other motorcycle to be my friend, but he's going the wrong way. Come back. This bike is so obnoxious and I love it. This guy wants to go really slow though. Sir, the speed limit is 45. Goose! Speed limit is 45. I was like, oh, we're almost doing the speed limit. This guy is really riding his own ride, isn't he? Are you turning, or are you just getting over? Are you going into the sketchy motel? Nope, you're literally just merging over. Okay, that's okay. So I think as I wrap this thing up, I definitely would like to hear from anyone, anything that you guys don't like, or anything that you'd like to see. If you guys like the idea of you know, the vlogging trips and the reviewing motorcycles and going through motorcycle histories, I could do that. And I could also go through some of my gear and stuff like that. So yeah, just let me know down below what you guys think. Bye.